Nationally, the race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is dead even. And our CBS News battleground tracker says that it is also the case in 11 battleground states. Hillary Clinton leads Donald Trump by 1 point in those 11. But that's within the margin of error. Joining us now for analysis and more is CBS News Director of Elections, Anthony Salvanto. So, Anthony, heading into the convention, what is the state of the Trump coalition?
Well, he's got this durable core of supporters, which is keeping him competitive. But what's really striking, John, now is what it is built on. More of his voters across these battleground states, a majority here in Ohio, say that they are with Donald Trump mainly because they oppose Hillary Clinton, more so than because they like Donald Trump. And, that's striking because while part of his message is clearly working, you don't normally see numbers flipped like that. Granted, this isn't a typical campaign, but successful campaigns tend to give, especially undecided voters, something more to be for than to be against.
And so does the Mike Pence pick help him in terms of giving people something to vote for? What are they looking for, the people in his coalition, that he might be able to give them that would fix that?
Yes. From the polling, it seems very clear that conservatives are happy with this pick. They wanted a vice president they thought was more conservative than Trump here in Florida. And they also think that it adds stability to the ticket. They're more likely to call it a cautious choice than a bold one, not exactly a description we've heard a lot around the Trump campaign, but that seems to be precisely the point. So it seems to shore up that base somewhat.
So that's the state of the Republican coalition for Donald Trump. How big is the group that he could grab from the other side, the Democrats, and what would he need to do that?
It is not large. It is tangible. It's about 1 in 5, maybe a little less than that. And what is interesting, John, is how locked in this race is, because you've got 8 in 10 of his voters who would never consider Hillary Clinton, 8 in 10 of hers who won't consider him. So it's a small sliver that he's targeting here. Notable, when asked what they want to hear at this convention, they say they'd like to hear him take a softer tone, soften the rhetoric. And that's part of the balancing act that he really has here, because that softer tone is not what that durable core of his existing supporters wants to hear.
And what about Hillary Clinton? Does she have any opportunity in the Republican side with those Trump voters who are not locked in? As you said, there are quite a lot of them.
At this point, not very much. It's really that handful of undecided and soft supporters that haven't quite made up their minds yet. There really aren't many of those. Again, it's really just a sliver of the electorate, and that is because so many of his supporters won't consider her, and so many, of course, of his supporters won't move either. And so I think that both of them are really coming after that narrow target, especially as the conservative base, now the Republican base, appears to be shorn up by the Pence pick. They're increasingly likely to say now that they're more with Trump, that support has hardened a little bit as a result of the pick.
All right, Anthony Salvanto, thank you so much. Fighting through North Carolina and South Dakota there, and we'll be right back.